Okay. Right, final topic.
Final topic of the day.
Yes. Yeah, it's the news that Warner Brothers TV has defended Dougray Scott following further social media allegations from Ruby Rose. So, whether I don't know whether you guys know or not, but
backstory.
Yeah, Ruby Rose played Batwoman. Like we said in the last topic, you know, all these derivative characters. It gets a bit... Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, she played Batwoman in the first season of the Batwoman TV series. And there was a lot of controversy on that series. I mean, first of all, it didn't do very well. And then on top of that, there were a lot of allegations about Ruby Rose's behavior on set.
Right.
To the point that she ended up getting fired from the Batwoman.
So that's
TV
why she
series.
never came back for season 2.
She never came back for season 2 because she got fired. She tried to make out that she left on her own accord, but she actually did get fired. I bet she did. Yeah, but she actually did get fired, and Warner Brothers did confirm that they fired her. She's then gone on, and I only heard about this very recently. I think as did you guys as well, about her making allegations against Dougray Scott, who's also in this. Now, truth be told, I don't think any of us have watched the Batwoman TV series because we're just not frigging interested, because it's had bad reviews, and I'm not interested in Batman's derivative characters. I'm just not.
You're just making these.
I'm just not. Yeah, and a lot of people are not, which is why it didn't do well, and which is why we said in the previous topic we didn't think Batgirl. Well, me and Leon didn't think Batgirl was going to do well.
Damien's backing it.
I'm not backing it. I ain't backing shit. I ain't seen nothing. I don't have time to watch stuff.
Batgirl, man, it's gonna be so great.
Anyway,
Batgirl could be the best movie ever.
This report comes from Deadline, and it says that Warner Brothers TV has stepped in to defend actor Dougray Scott after his former Batwoman co-star Ruby Rose made further allegations via social media. The studio has called Scott, who played Kate Kane's Batwoman's father, Colonel Jacob Kane, on the CW series, a consummate professional, and stated that there have never been any allegations against him of bullying or of abusive behavior on his part. The studio also reiterated that Rose was fired over multiple complaints about workplace behavior. We condemn the comments made by Ruby Rose about Dougray Scott. Warner Brothers has found Mr. Scott to be a consummate professional and never received any allegation against him of bullying or of abusive behavior on his part. Mr. Scott was greatly respected and admired by his colleagues and was a leader on the set, the studio noted in a statement. Warner Brothers TV did not pick up Ruby Rose's option for an additional season because of multiple complaints about workplace behavior that were extensively reviewed by the studio. This comes after Ruby Rose doubled down on social media activity over the weekend, blasting Scott and threatening legal action against executive producer Greg Berlanti. That's not going to go well, Ruby. Dougray, I have too many witnesses coming forward with worse than just your anger issues, but you're suing me for 10 million because Greg Berlanti shared his lawyer with you. Please come first so I can use the money from that case to take on Greg Berlanti, she wrote on Instagram stories. It is unclear what Rose is referring to, as Scott has not filed a lawsuit against his former co-star. He did issue a strongly worded statement after Rose's posts last week, in which she accused Scott of misconduct on set, including allegedly being abusive to women and hurting a female stunt double. I'm not going to go into the rest. You get the gist of it. I'm going to put it to you, Damien. What do you think about all this shenanigans?
Right. First and foremost, disclaimer, again, as per always. Everything you can hear online could be conjecture. We don't know what the true story is. We're sitting here right now speculating. But from what has been reported...
And what's come out of their own mouths.
Ruby Rose doesn't sound like she's been doing herself any favours of on-set behaviour. Speaking as someone who doesn't like anyone on set carrying a persona of I am the big who I am, you bow down to me. From what I've read, especially from the actor Cameron Johnson, who came out and spoke about it recently. Yeah, she's literally been digging her own grave.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Ruby Rose was up until a few years ago. She appeared in John Wick 2. She then made the new British thriller she's done, which she plays like an SAS person on a train. And she's popping up everywhere. I didn't even know she was a lead in Batgirl, to be fair. Again, I don't have time to watch anything. But the fact that she's come out now and she's tried to reframe what's going on and take the limelight away from her and put it on Dougray Scott, to me, just yells panic. Because Warner Bros have let her go. It's like, right, let me kind of like change the picture here and like just put the spotlight on him. I mean, someone looking at it right now, if anyone knows Forbes magazine, take it as it will if you believe it or whatnot. But the stuff she was accused on was everything from treating anyone that wasn't a major player like it didn't exist on set by ignoring them, that are beneath her, which I'm sorry, when you're on a film set, we've spoken about this before, the grip person, who's the person that carries your damn tea, they are as relevant as the A-list actor in that film. You don't talk to them as you wouldn't talk to your mother, so I don't care who you are. Secondly, she never thanked anyone, made physical demands, was a dictator on set. Contrary to what people believe about the injury, she said prevented her from working. She was out all night clubbing and turning up for work 8 hours late on set.
That's what I heard as well.
Like, at this point, this is just a spill of contradictory behaviour to what she's been saying she's been conducting. Then apparently the worst one was she opened the door, Jay Baxter, who basically was the PA on set, she opened the door and was holding food in her hand and she spilled it all over him, and then she just looked at him and went, well, expecting him to go and clean it up after she turned up on set late. So that kind of persona, that kind of personality says to me, you're not really going to gel well to work with at all. And in regards to blaming it on Dougray Scott, I mean, I tried to find one article where he's been spoken out again about in a negative way from any other actor. Can't find it. He's literally like, you know, Mr. Untouchable when it comes to negative comments about him. He's only looked at in a positive light. And this was the guy that was supposed to originally have been Wolverine before Hugh Jackman got it. He was the lead in Mission Impossible 2 as the main villain. He was supposed to be trajected in terms of his career. So the fact that she's come out now and started to go, right, he's assaulting women on set. This is one of the allegations she's made. He was harsh to stunt doubles and whatnot. I'm like, unless I hear the stunt double coming out and saying, I was treated unfairly by Dougray Scott, you know, or whatnot, then I'm not going to pay attention to it. So yeah, I think it's smoke and mirrors to kind of divert attention from that. Then again, I'm not on set. I don't know what happened, but from what reading was being released, that says to me that the problem is her, not him.
Leon, you hearing all of this and hearing what Damien said and just reading that article, what's your take on the situation?
First of all, it's very annoying that these entitled people feel they can do that and look down on people. It's horrible. But so she, you know, there's obviously, she's obviously deflecting because she was fired a long time ago, and then this is all coming out now. I just feel like, you know, like in Hollywood, like if people have got something to say it while it's happening, because all this, that happened. You know, like, so they're all saying this, but when did they say that? Did they say that in the beginning? Or did they say that after this? Or did they say, so, you know, who's saying what?
And it's kind of controversial, but it's like the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation.
Yeah.
The way that snowballed out and how things have come out later on. So
You see, it's funny you mentioned that because in that situation with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, Warner Brothers actually investigated the situation. Warner Brothers actually did their own investigation. They did their own internal investigation, and they could, because you got to remember there was two camps. There was the Johnny Depp camp, and there was the Amber Heard camp, and they were both gunning for each other. The Johnny Depp camp was saying that they should get the Amber Heard camp fired, and the Amber Heard camp was saying that Johnny Depp should be fired. That's why Warner Brothers did their own investigation, and their investigation was actually mentioned in court, and in the British courts when they gave the verdict to Amber Heard, and Warner Brothers said that their investigation concluded that Johnny Depp did do the things that Amber Heard said that he did. So with that being said, Warner Brothers, and just going back to that Warner Brothers are backing Amber Heard to the hill. That's why she's going to be in Aquaman 2, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So the same thing, I don't know if an investigation has played out, but it probably has. But as you can see, Warner Brothers are backing Dougray Scott to the hill, to the point where Greg Berlanti has come out and said, who's one of the studio heads, he's come out and said that Dougray Scott is a consummate professional. This is his own words, you know, and, you know, these allegations are, you know, rubbish,
totally
basically.
False.
Right. And then he reiterated that they fired Ruby Rose because she did try to come out with some nonsense about her having an injury, and that's why she couldn't do the second
difference
season.
of opinions, and one of them.
But even then, even before now, then when she came out with that, they did say even then, no, you were fired. So that shows you,
don't lie,
right? That they've got no time,
lie.
right? They've got no time for Ruby Rose.
Lie. Yeah.
Now, truth be told, I've never been a Ruby Rose fan. I've only heard of her recently, as Leon and Damien as mentioned. I've seen her in John Wick 2. Wasn't impressed. I've seen her in that film that Damien mentioned, where she's playing a SAS whatever. Wasn't impressed either. And I've not seen Batwoman, and I don't want to see Batwoman. I'm not interested to see Batwoman. But I did hear the reports, as Damien mentioned. I heard some of these reports while this was being made.
Right. And
yeah, it wasn't flattering on her part at all. And you know, because no one officially came out with anything, you couldn't definitively say yes, she's this. But if you keep continually hearing rumors about someone, you have to really...
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Continually.
Continually.
One or two people can have it out for you.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
But everybody...
But everyone... Yeah, exactly.
You got
and Damien's read out all the stuff that happened on set. That everyone... You know... She is a diva, basically. I've heard that on set from a few people that I've worked with her when I've been in LA, that she's a diva. And this is not even just from the film world, this is from the modeling world where she came from. She's a diva, you know. So there's that. I don't rate her as an actress at all. I don't know how she was getting these parts in the first place. But let's just say she won't be getting these parts anymore.
Well, the thing is, people will refuse to work with her because you don't want to mess up your whole... If one person's hot in production, possibly you're going to get rid of her. It's a gamble. Nobody wants a gamble.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the Batwoman series didn't do well partly because of her. Partly because she's not a great actress, and partly because a lot of the... people will term it wokeness, but I don't like that word. But there was a lot of stuff even in the trailer, even though I've never seen like for instance, in the Batwoman trailer, the guy that plays Lucius Fox's son says, "Oh, I've made the suit and it's perfect. It's perfection." And then she says, "Yeah, it'll be perfection when it's made for a woman." These kind of, you see what I'm saying? Like these were just the sort of things that I was seeing in the trailer, and a lot of people, including women, turned off straight away. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now you're promoting agendas and so on and so forth, and you know what I mean. It just wasn't, it wasn't popular to begin with. So then adding that to it just wasn't gonna.
Leave it.
And this is why, despite Ruby Rose not being in the second season, the second season still tanked. And this is why I think the stink from that is still going to affect Batgirl from the previous topic that we were talking about. So, you know, at the end of the day, she's digging her own grave. No one's going to want to work with her. The studios are not going to want to work with her. She's messing with a big studio head, which means she's going to get pretty much blacklisted. She's talking about lawsuits that hasn't even happened yet. And talking about, she's going to sue Greg Berlanti. Like, you must be nuts. You haven't got enough money to do that. But yeah, don't be surprised if you don't hear about Ruby Rose in the next, I don't know, 2 years, not acting anymore, It's just, that's just the way it goes, man.
Well, she had a good run. She made that goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
get out now.
get out.
Yeah.
Well, the pension's good.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, she made a dough. She secured the bag.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So, yeah,
make way for someone else.
Yeah, man. We
Like
bid
me.
you adieu, Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
But
I'm ready for Batgirl.
yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think about Ruby Rose and this whole situation.
Do you like her?
Do you not? What do you think about Dougray Scott and the comments made by Greg Berlanti about Dougray Scott?
Have you worked with her on set? Let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. You know, what have you experienced with her? If you have, let us know in the comments down below. And with that, we are done for today. But before we go, we, all three of us, are going to watch Blade, the first Blade film on Saturday. It's a 4K restoration, I believe, in the cinema. We won't mention the cinema because we don't want to be mobbed. We want a private life.
If anyone see the first review we did, we started to get mobbed by 4 old ladies behind us.
Yeah, there you go. So we are going to watch the 4K restoration of Blade in the cinema on Saturday, which will then kickstart our new segment, which is going to be reviews of films way back in time.
And this is where they rip the crap out of me for not watching The Godfather and, you know, and
oh
films
yeah.
I haven't seen.
Well, he's going to have to watch it before we review those.
Yeah.
Right? See, now you can get your own back on him.
That's it.
Okay.
Because I've seen
yes.
One thing I know is I've seen the classics.
Yes.
All the classics pre-2000.
Yeah.
This is where I get this shit ripped out.
Yeah.
We're right.
Someone get this kid a TV.
Anyway.
The
history.
and some time to watch the damn thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be starting a segment, reviewing films from back in the day. You know, I know Blade, the first Blade, doesn't seem like back in the day, but it was released in '98. So
nearly 25 years ago.
yeah,
Back in the day,
back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah, man.
When
So
my
that's
hairline was strong.
I had hair.
Shape up with down hair.
I still didn't have hair then, but anyway.
Yeah.
So that's gonna kick off our segment. We might do it Saturday, Sunday maybe actually, because we're gonna watch it on Saturday night. So probably Sunday we'll do the review. But yeah, that's gonna kick off our segment of reviewing old films from back in the day, and we believe that you're gonna love it. And believe me, we've done our own like back and forth for the first Blade, and yeah, we've gone on for hours. So Leon's gonna have to.
Don't watch me,
cut us, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to. I have to slow you down.
But yeah, so get prepared for that. And in the meantime, Damien, where can the people holler you?
You can holler me from outside my flat. Just embarking and just throw some money up. You can look for me on Damien Ashley Act on Twitter, because some other Muppet had Damien Ashley and he posts video game photos of him playing games. Well done to that guy.
But yeah, sure that weren't you?
It was me, man.
Yeah.
I was sat there playing, like, let me film myself. No, I'm joking. Sorry to anyone that does that. You make good views. Well done. Not my thing.
Yeah,
so that's really they can get you on Twitter, yeah?
I'm sorry to say that. There's a lot of guys that make good money off that.
Cancel Damien Ashley!
Anyway.
Damn it!
And where can I get you at, Leon?
You can get me in the ghetto near you.
yeah. He still hasn't got his social media up.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Well,
I'm going to try and delete one at some point. Probably will be deleted after that comment.
Well, anyway, as actors, you should have it. But anyway, don't follow these two.
Follow him.
Follow him.
On
me.
On?
Larry at Larry Olabami.
Well, you got a depression
at Larry Olabami on Twitter and at Larry Olabami on Instagram.
So there's only one.
Yeah, that's right. But with that, we'll see you soon, and check out our next segment coming up. Bye-bye.
Stop doing that.
Why?
This is not good.
Let me be me.
No.
That isn't you. That's Damien.
That's
what?
me.
Shut up.